Well, welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody! Woo! We're spiced up today.
That's what he wanted.
So, no. It's like to get up and going, up and running. It's going pretty good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just check and verify. So we're gonna jump right into this. So me and Charlie had a dispute the other day in regards to the interview about Tucker Carlson and Putin.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we have different perspectives.
and that's okay. It's good. That's what makes people grow, having different perspectives. And I was impressed by by Putin's intellect, by his knowledge of history, by his responses, and by his kind of determination in stating what's right for Russia, for his country, since he's been the leader of Russia for 24 years. Now, do I think that he's an authoritarian figure? Yes, he is, of course, for staying in power for too long, and then for not allowing political opposition, for freedom of speech, journalists being killed or political opponents being assassinated. Take the case with Navalny, so many other things. But overall, I admire his sense of leadership. That's what I admire. Do I believe everything he said is true, factual, about his historical facts that he said in the first 30 minutes he recounted? Well, we're going to see that. I have a book, a history book.
So you're supporting the guy who is killing people, who claims that Ukraine doesn't exist, and who wants to take everything.
No, I said I do not support him.
So why are you saying that?
I said the figure, the character, the leadership. I wish our president we have this much leadership.
And kill Mexican people, for example?
No.
Or what?
No. Character. Character, figure, political figure. I do not endorse his behavior, his actions.
It doesn't go together, in my opinion, in this case.
From what I saw, I don't know him well.
Well, nobody knows. Like,
I know his history.
It was a propaganda interview.
I don't think so. They're all propaganda interviews in the end.
I don't know. Like, the dude who was interviewing, like, whatever Putin said, he was like, yeah. Like,
well, when you're interviewing something, there's something you need to know. You need to allow that person. You ask the questions. You allow that person to make their own argument without interrupting. If they say something stupid, then you go back and you actually intervene and you push back a little bit and say. But he was playing on. It was a huge risk even for Tucker Carlson to go there,
Well,
like,
have you even
seen
seen what they were drinking?
No.
Putin has this like white cup.
Yeah.
He didn't reveal what's inside.
We don't know what's inside. Could have been vodka.
Yeah.
For what we know.
The other dude.
Tucker Carlson. Yeah. I think he has water.
He had water, but he didn't touch it.
Yeah.
He didn't touch it at all. I mean, Putin was 2 hours late for the interview.
He was 2 hours late.
It says something too.
Yes.
He wanted to show his position.
I don't know what. So some of his claims, when he said that Poland allied with Hitler, that was fishy to me. Because I really wanted to go and check. And I found the historical time when Poland did ally with Hitler in a sense, because after the Treaty of Versailles, after World War I, Germany was devastated and the map of Europe was redrawn. Many territories, the Polish state got reborn because there's been a time lapse in history where Poland did not exist. It was split between Russia from the east, Prussia from the northwest, and Austria from the southwest as well, south and southwest.
Okay.
So the Polish state did not exist altogether. After World War I, many territories got back to it. Okay? Now, Poland and Germany, they did try to find an alliance before World War II because Poland wanted to reclaim territories, Ukrainian territories. Because historically, if we go back in time, a couple of centuries back, we know that Poland extended all the way from into Ukraine and even in the north. With you had Vilnius, it was all Poland area, and then there was this disputed piece. You know that Gdansk was German, and then it was Polish again. Ultimately, it was Polish. So what I found here, it says like, so this book is an independent book. When I went to Poland, this is the only book in English that I found from Adam Zamoyski. And he says, Poland, a history. It says, invaluable and eye-opening and independent. And honestly, I found so many revelations about this book. So here we said just a few excerpts just to tell you what it tells you historically.
Then I have another article over here.
So the long yearn for independence has been under threat ever since it was achieved in 1918. This is for Poland. The Versailles settlement that created a situation in Central Europe which was uncomfortable for all parties. Germany could not help feeling a grudge against Poland, and the Poles could not help feeling one against every one of their neighbors, all of whom felt the same way toward the Poles, because everybody had a slice of Poland. Poland did not exist. The powers which had helped restore Poland to the map were reluctant to commit themselves to her survival, and while all formally guaranteed in 1919 Franco-German border, only France did the same with respect to Germany's eastern border with Poland. Between 1932 and 1939, foreign policy was conducted by Colonel Josef Beck. He was the prime minister back then of Poland, who saw clearly in the diplomatic game of Poland had nothing to offer as a potential ally. In 1932, he signed a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union. This elicited an aggressive response from Germany, which demanded the free city of Danzig. Gdansk. When Hitler came to power in 1933, Piłsudski considered a Franco-Polish preemptive strike on Germany, but Hitler stepped in with conciliatory offers, and in January 1934, Poland and Germany signed a 10-year non-aggression pact. Hitler was keen to meet Piłsudski and discuss plans for a German drive into the Baltic countries in conjunction with a Polish drive to the Black Sea. And down in 1938, it became obvious that the West would be of no practical assistance to Poland, and Beck would not turn to the Soviet Union for military alliance. So, historically, whatever was the case, the Poland said, we prefer, if we lose to Germany, we lose our freedom. If we lose to Russia, we lose our soul. It was so embedded in the Polish mentality to avoid any kind of alliance and help from the Soviets that they would prefer any kind of alliance but nothing with the Soviets, the Russians. Because for them, there was a big no-no. So historically, I can see the rage, I can see the hostility toward Russia, even to this day, because he has taken a lot out of them. And if we go back and see here in the last part, I found at the end of World War II, the only nation that was the most afflicted one with the highest number of losses was Poland. And this is something that is not historically told, and it deserves to be told, because it is a grim irony that although it had been a member of the victorious alliance, Poland was the ultimate loser of the Second World War. It lost its independence and almost half its territory, in defense of which the war had been declared. It also lost 38% of its national assets, a gigantic proportion when compared to the figures of France and Britain, who lost 1.5 and 0.8% respectively. The majority of its cultural heritage, as museums, libraries, palaces, and churches, are gone up in smoke. Nearly 6 million Polish citizens have been killed. We only know about the Jews that have been killed, but we don't know about these casualties.
How many millions of people?
6. A proportion of 1 in 5. The proportion among the educated elites was far higher, nearly 1 in 3 for Catholic priests and doctors, and over 1 in 2 for lawyers. A further 500,000 of Poland's citizens has been crippled for life, and 1 million children have been orphaned. The surviving population was suffering for severe malnutrition, tuberculosis. Disease raged on an epidemic scale because by marching, they say that World War II has been won by the Allied forces, but also thanks to the help of the Soviets. However, some things that people don't know: when the Soviets marched into Poland, they pillaged, they murdered, they burned, they destroyed, as well as killing Germans.
Yeah. So at this point,
they fucked up.
Yeah. So at this point,
and they reclaimed the territories as well.
Yeah. So we've even, no matter what Putin says, "Oh, I want peace," nobody will believe after what was back in the day.
Well, it was Stalin back then. Stalin was a psychopath.
They're both psychopaths.
So when people cheer about communism, they should learn history.
Yeah, I have little.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's collaborating.
Did you understand what I?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Collaborating with Hitler. Perhaps Mr. Putin's most inflammatory claim was regarding Poland. Mr. Putin claimed that Poland, which was invaded by Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union in 1939, collaborated with Hitler. The Russian president told his interviewer that by refusing to cede an area of Poland called back in the day Danzig, Poland went too far, pushing Hitler to start World War II by attacking them. And there is a professor, Prasmovska. President Putin's interpretation of history is a flawed reading of the historical record. She says that while it is true that there were diplomatic contacts between Poland and the Nazis, the first treaty Hitler signed after coming to power was a non-aggression pact with Poland in 1934. Mr. Putin is conflating diplomatic outreach to a threatening neighbor with collaboration. The accusation that the Poles were collaborating is nonsense, the professor Prasmovska says. You cannot interpret these things as if this were collaboration with Nazi Germany, because it just so happened that the Soviet Union also signed treaties with Germany at the same time. In September 1939, Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union invaded Poland according to the terms of the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, signed between both states earlier that year. So,
yeah, and another thing that was crazy is that the Germans knew they wanted war. And then the Prime Minister of England, Chamberlain, had a meeting with Hitler. And Hitler assured him, we don't want war. That's what Hitler said. However, there was this thing that Hitler absorbed Austria. He walked into Austria because the population was German. Most of them were Nazis. So they just came in and they took Austria. And then what else? Czech Republic. They went into Czech Republic. They threatened them. They say, we're going to bomb the shit out of Prague if you don't capitulate and give us the city. For fear, they signed and they got Prague. And until then, what Hitler was doing, he was testing the waters. He was saying like, oh, let me see if I can get away with this. Let me see if I can get away with this. And then he went on to Poland. And until August 31st, on 1939, he was still pushing and pushing and pushing. And the day after, he attacked. So there's this thing that also is not known. So what happened that on the evening of August 31st, 1939, a dozen German convicts, they say German convicts, but other accounts say they were people from the intelligence services, were dressed in Polish uniforms in order to attack a German radio station in Gliwice, in Upper Silesia. Early next morning, as the world awoke to the remarkable news that Poland had attacked the Third Reich, the Wehrmacht invaded Poland in defense of the threatened fatherland. 2 days later, September 3rd, Great Britain and France declared war on Germany. 2 weeks after that, on September 17th, when it had become clear that they would do nothing further to help their ally, the Soviet Union also invaded Poland. What followed was no ordinary war. It was a concerted and sustained effort by Germany and Russia to destroy not only the Polish state, but the Polish nation itself. And although full-blown military operation would end in 1945, it would not be over for Poland until September 1989, almost exactly 50 years after the war began. So that is terrible.
So how about Putin saying that Ukraine doesn't exist?
Ukraine was a people, a country that was born on its own. It wasn't. He did not say it did not exist. He was putting a lot of emphasis into NATO.
So he says Ukraine is an artificial state that was shaped at Joseph Stalin's will.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Ukraine was there. Stalin committed terrible atrocities against Ukraine. Do you know about the famine of 1919, 1920? He starved like millions and millions of people. They took all the grain, the foods, and shipped it to the cities.
Yeah. So it says, let me just finish this because it's very interesting. Putin was arguing that Ukraine was created by the Soviet leadership in the 1920s, as you mentioned, and received lands to which it had no historical claim. In a sense, he's correct, says Professor Radchenko. The Soviet leadership drew up the borders of Soviet republics, almost like the Western colonial powers drew up borders in Africa, kind of randomly. But that does not mean that Ukrainians did not exist. More broadly, Mr. Radchenko denies Mr. Putin's claims that Ukraine is not a real country because it was formed in its modern form in the 20th century. Any country is a fake country in the sense that countries are created as a result of historical process. Russia was created as a result of decision taken by the Russian Tsars, such as the colonization of Siberia, which came at the considerable expense of the local population. If Ukraine is a fake country, then so is Russia.
Yeah, it's so
that's the comment.
It's an atrocity. It's really an atrocity. And the other thing is that the French and the British, they promised, if they attack you, we will intervene. But actually took them a long time for them.
Yeah.
2 weeks. It took them 2 weeks before they would attack. And then the other thing is that the Russians, since first they said Poland said we don't want any help from the Soviets, right? They took it personally. They got offended. But then when the Soviets came in, they stood down for 6 weeks. In the meantime, the Germans were beating the shit out of the Polish army. And they did it on purpose.
As you mentioned, like how many people died at that time? Six million at least.
Well, the other shocking thing is that so on September 17th, Russian armies invaded from the east, and it was revealed the Romanian had under German pressure renounced his military alliance with Poland. And then, Warsaw was besieged since September 14th, capitulated 2 weeks later. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, it's so Germany lost roughly 45,000 men, 300 planes, 993 tanks and armored cars, but the coast of Poland was nearly 200,000 deads.
Okay.
200,000 deads. That's insane. And how many of those people they relocated?
Yeah.
Plus what they did, so 400,000 Poles from the same areas were resettled. They moved a lot of people around.
Lots of people.
While 330,000 were shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 million Poles were moved out of the Reich and then 2.8 million were taken. They were moved all around for slave labor. And supposedly, Aryan-looking children were kidnapped, as many as 200,000 of them, to be brought up as Germans.
Yeah.
And some 2,000 concentration camps were set up on Polish soil.
Like if you look at the city of Warsaw, it was completely destroyed.
Oh yeah,
and they built it again.
They built it up from paintings.
Yeah.
Of an artist.
Imagine how big of a city would it be like at the moment. Like there's so many like nice buildings.
It was completely
destroyed to the grass.
Ground.
Totally.
Like
Zero.
completely.
So that's why I would say Polish people or European Union people, they will never believe the gentleman Putin saying, "Oh, we want peace."
I know.
Especially that it was a few days ago he got the green light from former president saying.
From Trump?
Yeah.
Well, Trump was.
Have you heard the words?
He was saying something stupid, saying.
But the whole world was talking
about NATO. He said that he wouldn't support. Trump said that he would not allow the United States to support NATO, and kind of like, I don't know if he said joking. I didn't hear it. He said that he would allow Russia to do whatever they want or something.
So that it's. So he said he would encourage Russia to attack any NATO member that fails to pay its bills as part of the Western military alliance. But in fact, like just a few countries pay.
It is
only
true.
the few countries they pay.
It is true the European countries don't pay.
They don't.
As much as the United States.
Like Poland is one of the countries they do. They meet the requirement anyway. And then at the rally on Saturday, he said he once told the leader he would not protect a nation behind on its payments and would encourage the aggressors to do. And he said, do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, no, I would not agree on that.
Yeah, that was very, very stupid words. And like the whole European Union, they were talking about that, all the journalists and stuff. It was, because obviously like the words, like Putin listening to those words, he was happy.
For me, look, the thing is, I don't want any more people dying.
Yeah.
I don't want any war. I don't want any fights. And
me neither.
The situation is there's so many interests at play. And the United States, again, the Senate approved $95 billion to be sent to 60 to Ukraine, then Taiwan and Israel. And they were arguing about putting 20 billion for the border, the United States border, but they did not. Apparently, how the hell did they pass this? And I don't know.
Well, it makes sense what you're saying, but still like...
So it should be zero. Should be Americans first. That's what it should be.
Well, but then like somebody will be in pain over there.
But people are in pain here. You know what I mean? Like the border is a disaster. It's a disaster. You don't have a border. It's like an exodus of people coming through.
It is.
Who knows how many of those are terrorists?
Yeah.
Not all of them want to come here to be productive members of society. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I totally understand your point, and it makes sense. But I'm still like concerned about what's going on over there. Like I just care, I know that here we have other problems and issues, as you mentioned. There is nothing we can deny.
The thing is, if Poland is part of NATO, if Putin attacks Poland, then all the NATO country, it's going to be a direct threat attack against NATO altogether. And I don't think Putin is so stupid to get engaged in a war with multiple nations, because this will be the end of the world, not just the end of Russia.
Maybe that's what he wants. I don't know what's in his head.
It didn't seem to me like that. I don't know. I'm not defending him or anything.
Okay, makes sense.
I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't make any sense to be so self-destructive that you want.
I just, for me, I don't understand like why he's like so selfish, like saying Ukraine doesn't exist, it was Russia. I mean,
there are some precedents that I explained to you about NATO pushing their boundaries closer and closer to Russia, So,
but then if he takes over Ukraine...
Then the other thing is that these people that are approving these bills in the Senate, they do not take in consideration that other people's lives are doing the fight. This is not American troops. it's a proxy war. We're giving money. We don't know where their money is going. Ukraine was, and I think is still, the most corrupt country in the world. When you give them a slush fund of multiple billions of dollars, man, 1 billion is 1,000 million dollars. That's insane. How much money can you fucking spend it into what? You know, but those weapon system cost. But who's making a profit? The people that sell weapons.
Yeah.
And the average age of Ukrainian soldier is 43, 45. The average. And they say that as much as 300,000 to 500,000 already have died for this. Women are on the battlefield. Like, they're destroying a generation of people.
Yeah. I just wish...
In a country. I wish there just was peace.
Yeah.
But the United States didn't want peace back then when there was a proposal for peace. And the Prime Minister of England flew there to say, no, we don't want peace. There's so many interests.
The conclusion is
the conclusion is a cluster.
Everything is fucked up.
Is a mess. Is a mess, and there is some greedy human beings on the top of it. Yeah. And just think about how much progress we could have in the world if we don't have any fucking wars.
Or collaborate with each other, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
even
research.
Look how many... how many businesses are there? Either Ukraine or Russia, American business, they got closed. All those sanctions.
But they might have They might have some technology or medical thing that we don't have. We might have something that they don't.
Let's just make everybody's life better. Cooperate. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why not?
The thirst for power, the human greed. It's something like to have this.
Because those people, they like. Top people, they want more and more. Like, why, if you're big, huge, you're on top of the power, why you need more? And it costs somebody's life, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you just jump for a second,
they don't care about human life.
If you just jump for a second to somebody's shoes who has family there,
they just care about power.
Yeah.
So you remember last time we had the conversation in regards to politics, and you stated like, I don't want to be identified as this side or this side, because kind of like you said, you correct me if I'm wrong, you don't want to be pointed the finger that you...
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody.
Yes, but you to say fuck that about offending anybody, and you have a platform and you have to state your point in saying what you believe in. Yeah. And then you put your reasons behind it. Yeah. And what you do, you try to state your argument.
That makes sense, yeah.
And persuade people into...
So that was make
them understand.
My statement.
But one big mistake about modern youth, and the big mistake that I did too when I was at your age, is that I did not find any interest or be curious about politics, because I would say they're all corrupt. Nothing is ever going to change. There's nothing I can do, and this and this and that, and find you 50 more reasons to say why I should not be interested. In reality, I was lazy. I had my own things going. I was selfish, and I cared just about my business, and I didn't give a shit about anything else, because it happens when you're young, you have interests, friends, and life, going out and have fun and this and that. But what I will tell to young people is have at least a general knowledge of what's going on in the world, because having information puts you on a different place, and maybe you could do something to change. If you believe, if you have liberal ideas or if you have conservative ideas, cultivate those, you know. Don't become trapped by ideologies and characters. What do I mean? Don't believe that Joe Biden is the only savior, the super smart, intelligent guy that has an IQ of super IQ, and that he's still whipping and he's not senile, he's going, or don't believe that the left does great things for the people and this and that. Don't get trapped in those ideas. Just use critical thinking. Look at one side and look at the other. Don't get trapped in one team, red team or blue team. Just have an open mind and keep yourself informed, because one day you might have to make a choice, and that choice might depend on your beliefs and your affiliations.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah.
I would like young people to be more interested.
I think I got lately more interested still, like, especially with those things going on at the moment, like this, like, touch me, at this point.
Yeah,
so.
and then one other thing is, like, most people do not know history. If we don't know history, well,
then we believe with whatever they say.
Well, then they say, like, we're doomed to repeat it, because certain human nature is cyclical.
Yeah.
So some behaviors may come and happen again, and we do the same mistakes over and over and over, and we never learn.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, the other history is written by the victors. Those who win write history.
Mm-hmm.
Would they tell the truth? And to what kind of perspective are they putting inside that story that they're going to tell?
Yeah.
There's no way you can know 360 degrees all the aspects of what really happened, because you just have these major actors that tell you what happened.
Yeah.
Because you need to have accounts from different class of people instead of just...
Especially guess how many people they cannot even say where is Eastern Europe on the map.
Absolutely.
So,
oh, yes.
And then they will hear whatever they say about the history and believe because they...
People would just get blinded by party politics.
Yeah, either one or
by listening
another.
to media and not really having a critical eye, and believing everything they say and go to war with it. And
you gotta see both sides, right? I see good things on both sides, and I don't know. It's just...
For me, it's simple. Start from the things that we agree on.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want America to be a good country, great for everybody? Do we want everybody to be successful? It's
For sure.
It's a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to make our society better? Do we want to make our cities safe? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't want that? Do we want to...
Basics, right?
Yeah. Do we want to have a good healthcare? Do we want to have
Schools.
Good schools? Do we want to have a good instruction? Do we want to have good jobs?
But instead of...
it's like, do we want everybody to be able to afford a house? Because nowadays, who can afford the house?
So I saw there was like a reel on Instagram, and somebody came up and he was like, "Oh, I wanted to buy a house," and he was like, "How much money you have?" My yearly income is $30,000. He was, "Oh yeah, we have this and that." And then the guy came in 2024. So my yearly income is $100,000, and then they were like, "What do you even want to buy?" Just
$100,000.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But do you see how it changed? Like back in the day, if somebody was making, the same amount of money, they could afford like house or
could afford everything.
Even if you look at the history, like apartments, like 1-bedroom apartment, you could spend like 10% of what you have to pay now.
Yeah.
So
but now you have to spend almost 50% of what you make goes to rent or mortgage.
And then
if you add,
there's nothing left.
If you add credit cards and other debts, car payments.
Not even car payment, but insurance and like other expenses related to that.
Yeah, I was reading a post from somebody, a kid. He said, like, I'm 43 and I still, at my age, I find myself like restarting over and over and over and over again, because there was once there was a depression, 2008, 2009, and I got screwed.
Yeah.
Then poor decisions, and I got screwed. It looks like you're always restarting from one point, and you can really never catch up. And then how many young people go on TikTok and they're realizing, like, your age, they're saying like, I work 40 hours a week. I don't make enough money. I don't have time I come back home. I am destroyed. On the weekends, I have to clean up the house. I have
Yeah.
to do the laundry. I have to cook. I have to do this. I don't have time to do anything. What kind of life is this? I'm just working to pay off the bills and pay for groceries, and I don't have any disposable income to go and have fun. And I do understand that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not the point, right?
it's a valuable point of view, but how many people just work 40 hours and keep on grinding and suck it up? Because many of these people, it's the first time they really struggle and go through life.
Well, because everything has got so expensive. Even if you look at rent, like this is not cheap. If you go to the grocery store, have gotten so expensive. Like
Yeah.
if it's a fact. It's a whole world. Like it's not only here. Like
Inflation numbers came out today, as a matter of fact, and they're still higher than expected. They were expecting inflation at 2.9%, but it came up at 3.1%. So it's like 0.2 points, a little bit higher, percentage points. And so there is not cooling down as they think, because they want to bring inflation to 2%, but it's still hard because
Yeah.
many items are still expensive.
oh, for sure. Like whatever you choose, either like necessity products,
Yeah.
everything, like phone bills, internet.
Yeah.
It's all got so crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So-
I think the internet should be something that everybody should have universally.
Yeah, maybe like 20 years ago not, but now,
Yeah.
and it should be more affordable.
Affordable for everybody.
Especially that they can provide you better power, but they want to charge you way more for that.
Yeah.
So like
But that's how phone companies now are making more money by selling data. You know, how much data do you 5G, like 4 gigs, 5
Oh,
or
yeah.
unlimited.
Mhm,
That's
mhm.
where you pay the most expensive.
that's true.
Yeah, and I have this article here about the economy, and they call it YOLO spenders have created a super duper credit bubble in the U.S. economy. Top economist
Okay.
David Rosenberg says. So what's YOLO again?
You only live once.
Okay, so these people are just
They just don't care.
They just don't go all in. Today's consumers, or rather YOLO spenders, have taken on a massive amount of debt, top economist says, and it's created a big bubble in a pocket of the U.S. economy. There is no acknowledgement today. Yet again, we have a super duper credit bubble on our hands. It's just about fiscal recklessness at the government level. It's not about just fiscal recklessness at the government. At the government level, the dilemma is that the consumer commands a dominant 70% share of the economy. U.S. households today have a savings rate of just 3.7%. Like people that save.
Yeah.
Way below the historical levels of 9%. Meanwhile, consumer spending exploded by $208 billion in the fourth quarter of 2023. A recent New York Fed report showed that households added a whopping $212 billion to their debt load over that same time period. That means over 100% of that increase in consumer spending was financed with debt.
Wow.
And if consumers are driving 70% of the U.S. economy, it could mean big trouble if they get crushed by the weight of that debt. U.S. consumers don't look like they're buckling. Consumer balance sheets seem to be in great shape, but also the cracks are beginning to show. Credit card delinquency rates are on the rise, with 30-day default rates rising to 8.5% compared to 5.9% a year ago. More serious 90-day defaults are also rising, and delinquency rates for auto loans and mortgage loans have increased as of late. 1 in every 12 holders of credit cards is missing their payment. Adding, the last time this happened was in 2011, when U.S. unemployment was 90%.
Wow.
Today, it's nearly historical lows, 3.7%. Wow. So how can
That's
it be
crazy.
3.7%? The unemployment, and people are still all in debt. Okay, the economy works because of debt. Think about it.
Plus, people want better and better things, right?
Yes,
New things.
but
Plus,
only through debt.
yes. Like if you look at the iPhone, you remember first iPhone 2007, right? Or 8? What was the cost? $499. right? Then you go now, the cheapest one is
$499.
yeah, $499. Now it's $999.
Yeah,
And
for,
if you
for the cheapest
the
version,
cheapest, if you want to have more memory, you gotta pay $1,300. So it's like almost 3 times more. So also everything got so expensive, and I'm sure that those credit card companies are so happy about this shit.
They're happy. Depends.
Why not?
If
Like
well,
they make money on the interest.
if people pay back, if the debt if people max out their credit cards, you can never repay that 24%.
No.
Interest
Especially if you have a large limit, right?
Yeah, like if people have 3 credit cards and they cash it all out, spending.
Yeah.
The thing is that what can they do? They just will lower their credit score,
Yeah. But if they don't have choice, for example.
or they can file for bankruptcy.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's
Yeah, it's insane if you think about it. And
Yeah.
if you owe money to somebody, you are a slave to the lender. Always.
for sure.
You will not be free, man. And it sucks.
No matter who is borrowing.
It's crushing. It's crushing to your soul.
Yeah. Because you feel like you have this,
Yeah, you're always
the same with the car payment. Like
in panic. Yeah.
if you have to make it this $1,000 payment every month, it's like fuck.
No, man. Go buy a used freaking vehicle.
Yeah, like how
Even if it has 100,000 miles.
How way more freedom would you have if you would drive even like super old
2004, 2005.
Toyota you bought for $3,000? Isn't more? I mean, I would totally, like they say that if you look at those millionaires, they rather drive older cars and keep building the wealth. From the other hand, you have those people who drive all those Ferrari, Lamborghini. In many cases, they might be just broke, but they want to show off.
Yeah, it's a status thing.
You got to comprehend like that. It's not all about status, but also like your own comfort, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when I did that solo video about people consuming,
yeah, there was one.
so the quotation that I took from the book, the guy that is famous advertisers, one of the most famous ones, Friedrich Berger or something, and he was saying like the car that you just bought, that you worked hard for it to buy, it's already old.
Oh, for sure, because they know
And
technology.
he said my job is to make you want every time, and when you think you're already there, you're not even close,
you're
because you will always want new stuff. Because it's my job as an advertiser to make you want things.
Yeah.
Because he said, because happy people do not consume.
That's very true.
Isn't that freaking insane?
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
They want to make you spend more and more.
Like, yeah, he was saying like, I'm the one that creates advertisements. Blue sky, beautiful girls, car always new, clean,
Because they want to make money.
Yeah.
Like have you saw any the Superbowl advertisements?
Yeah.
That was the company TEMU. They had 4 ads.
Did they?
4 ads.
Damn.
So it's like 28 million.
20, holy shit.
Look, so they are another fast fashion company like the Shane, but they also had like household products, like small products, all Chinese, many of them under $1, and all the child labor, unclear with taxes, all this stuff.
Were they from China?
I think so. Let me double check.
Oh damn! 4 commercials.
Yeah, because I can read an article about that.
Yeah, I was looking at the commercial of the Dunkin' Donuts with Ben Affleck.
Oh, that was last year, right?
No, now.
Really?
This year,
I haven't seen that one.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Oh.
Yeah.
So apparently it was founded 1 year ago. I don't know if it's this one.
Damn, they must have burned through a lot of cash.
Yeah. They have lawsuits with Shane, TEMU allows China-based vendors to sell and ship directly to customers without having to rely on intermediate distributors in the destination country. So, and there was this article. Let me just go through that really quick. So, meet the latest mega fast fashion and fast retail brand. So, if you watched the Super Bowl last night, you likely saw one of the many TEMU ads that aired. The ads showcased items with extremely low prices, claiming that you can shop like a billionaire on their app. They go beyond clothing and extends to cheap tech, home appliances, tools, and more. And they launched in 2022, and they became most downloaded app in the US, surpassing Amazon, Walmart, and Target. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
And then they say they replicated the business model of companies like Shein to sell cheap and low-quality items that will likely end up in the landfill. The company claims to offset carbon emissions for each order, but they have given no proof to verify this. And they're being linked to exploited labor of the Uyghur people in China, taking advantage of US trading loopholes to avoid inspection tariffs, and stealing intellectual property such as designs. The company has also stayed silent on their labor practices, and they're saying that many ex-users expressed their annoyance at seeing so many TEMU ads last night. Isn't it ridiculous?
It's crazy. Oh my god.
So can you imagine that you found the company 2.5 years ago and you already can afford 4 ads on Super Bowl?
That's insane. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
What the hell? So I was curious to look into the something that so Canada.
Mm-hmm.
They have free healthcare.
Yeah, as
Okay.
many countries do too.
And everything in Canada is like in kilos, kilometers.
Like European measurement.
Like
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense. Huh.
So things in Canada are not going well because
What do you mean?
of the current political situation with the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. They're very left liberal policies, lots of gender affirmation, woke policies all over the country.
Okay.
And there was this thing called MAID that is, in 2016, the Canadian government legalized medical assistance in dying.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I saw that.
I
I heard about that.
I could not wrap my head around it, so I wanted to research it.
Yeah.
The Canadian Supreme Court concluded that laws preventing assisted suicide stifled individual rights because they say you should be free. You should have the right to live, but also the right to choose to die, according to them. Okay.
Well.
Doctors and nurses will give lethal injections of fatal medications only to patients who met certain criteria. The patient had a serious illness or disability. The patient was in an advanced state of decline that could not be reversed. The patient was experiencing unbearable physical or mental suffering, and then the patient was at the point where natural death had become reasonably foreseeable. Critics worried that not long after that, people will be depressed, stressed, or just poor and overwhelmed to also qualify for assistance to die.
Mm-hmm.
This is a slippery slope.
Wow.
Before long, the range of who qualifies for assisted suicide was expanded. In 2021, the criteria that natural death must be reasonably foreseeable was lifted. And then there is example for this person, Alan Nichols, who has lost his hearing in childhood and has suffered a stroke. In June 2019, at age 61, he was hospitalized out of concern that he might be suicidal. Within a month, he applied for a physical assisted death, citing hearing loss as his only condition. The hospital told that his request for lethal injection was valid, and his life was ended. So he was basically put to death just because he said he was stressed out because he couldn't hear from one ear.
Wow.
And then another one, Rosina Cames, had fibromyalgia and chronic leukemia, along with other mental and physical illnesses. She presented these symptoms to MAID assessors, and her health was approved. And then she said she wrote the patient brought this thing in secret. And she said, please keep all this a secret while I'm still alive, because the suffering I experience is mental suffering, not physical. So she had mental suffering, not only physical. She was put to death on September 26, 2021. And then a 23-year-old who was depressed and unemployed and also had diabetes, has lost vision in one eye. His death was approved and scheduled for September 22nd, 2022. Wow. About 2 weeks before the appointment, his 46-year-old mother called the doctor who had scheduled to kill her son. She recorded a call and shared it with the Free Press. So she was posing as a woman named John and told the doctor that she wanted to die by Christmas, reciting the basic MAID criteria. So the doctor told her that she needed to be over 18, have an insurance card, and be experiencing suffering that cannot be remediated or treated in some way that's acceptable to you. The doctor said he could conduct his assessment via Zoom or WhatsApp. And she posted everything on social media. So eventually the doctor texted the mom saying that he would not follow through with her son's death. And then within just a few years, the number of Canadians dying by physician-assisted suicide ballooned. In 2021, the figure was more than 10,000, 1 in 30 of all Canadian deaths. In 2021, only 4% of those who filed written applications were deemed ineligible. That means that 96% of those who applied got approved. And then healthcare costs sometimes come into play. Roger Foley, a patient at a hospital in Ontario who has a degenerative brain disorder, was disturbed enough by how often the staff talked about assisted dying that he began recording their conversations. The hospital director of ethics informed Foley that if he were to stay in the hospital, it would cost Foley north of $1,500 per day.
Wow.
That's why they've been telling him, hey, dude, it's better if we unplug, you know. And then on the contrary, eligibility may expand soon, including to mature minors whose death is reasonably foreseeable. Recommends that mature minors be defined as at least 12 years of age and capable of making decisions with respect to their health.
Wow.
So Canada is scheduled to move in 2024 to officially extend MAID eligibility. So if I put two and two together and I see like this climate agenda that they say there's too much people on the planet and we need less people because it will create too much CO2 pollution around. So we need to get rid of people. This is the perfect policy, by the way.
But also it's weird because Canada, they were announcing that they want more people. They're bringing people from all over the world because they have huge country, but most of the land is empty.
It's cold as fuck. Nobody wants to go to Canada.
Well, I mean, they have so much space available.
They do, but it's most of those areas are like negative 50 in the wintertime. Who wants to go there?
I mean, it used to
Just
be the same here.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, I'm sure that, but it's still like they don't have much people living there, so they should increase.
It's not like California that people can go and live outside and it's fine all year long.
That makes sense, but still, like, so they want this, but from the other hand, they're bringing
that is insane.
I would say rather they should provide free maybe consultation with the psychologist, you know.
But like some people, I watched a documentary once for a class when I was in college about euthanasia. That is assisted dying.
Yeah.
And so far there was only one place in the world that they could do it. That was Switzerland. So people would fly there and they would just pay and they would literally like give him a drug and put him to sleep. And I watched this the documentary showed this these people, like this guy was 40 and he said, I have a MS, multiple sclerosis. In a year or two I will not be able to move or walk or talk. I will have to crawl, and therefore he says I want to end it now because I know what the. And then another guy said, I don't want to go through old age and I want to go and die, you know. And there was his wife there.
Wow.
The doctor told him till the last time. So he said, like, I'm going to give you this pill now that is gonna numb you down. It's just gonna follow you asleep, and then after this, I will give you the injection, and that will be it. The wife was there. She hugged him. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. This, and that. Yeah, it's been beautiful. Thank you for everything. This, and that. And then the doctor said, she told him like twice, "Are you sure you want to go through about this?" He said yes.
Wow.
She gave him the drug. He took it. He fell asleep. And they put the lethal injection.
Wow.
And the guy passed like he was sleeping. And
That's
that was
crazy.
it. Like just like that. Turn the lights off. You're dead. And that's a
Crazy.
service that people pay to go to Switzerland. And they will ship your body back, or they will cremate you or whatever.
Wow.
And that's it. Can you just imagine that? So like, yeah, I'll be gone in a week, so come everybody and say hi. Isn't that fucking insane?
No, it's...
And you don't think, let's be honest, who thinks about death? It's inevitable for all of us, right?
I think like most people, they want to stay as long as they can.
Well, the problem that nowadays is that we think we are immortal. We think we can live forever.
Well,
Who knows?
Maybe in the future.
Who
but
knows? Some technology comes in and
yeah,
we can actually.
maybe in the future, right?
But to this point, yeah, there's some people that really do suffer, though, man. You just have to acknowledge that fact. Then there was another case that this guy changed his gender, and then he could not deal with it. He was not happy. And he committed suicide. Like he went through the same assisted dying, because he wasn't happy with his body.
But then if you look from the perspective...
And how many of these there will be?
Yeah, many and more.
How many suicidal people
Yeah.
just because...
But
Yeah, go ahead.
But if you look at any religion from this perspective, like it's against all the rules people believe. Like I think no matter what religion, like, you know, like
I don't
if
know.
you have Christians,
I think life is a gift, and you as a physician, you take an oath that you're supposed to
help people,
help preserve life, and help people get healthy. Isn't there a ethical dilemma? Because you're gonna put an end to this to this person's life.
Sure. I mean, you are like the executor.
And then having the government that actually sends you a paper flyer and said, "Have you considered MAID?" Are you out of your mind?
That's crazy.
How can I don't know how can you allow this to go on?
I don't know. It's ridiculous. But I think it will be more and more people, as they said, they want to increase the age to like lower.
Well, you just think about it. The government has all incentives to do this to people. They don't have to pay pension. They don't have to pay more medical bills, you know.
Yeah.
So for them, it's a financial cost.
Then they get less taxes.
But yeah, I mean, to what extent?
That's crazy.
Well, Canada, get back to your senses and reclaim your country.
I heard of something about, but I didn't know it was Canada. It was something like Netherlands.
Yeah, I don't know how many other countries do.
I guess many, but as you historically see, like the age of people is increasing. So like maybe one day in the future, people will be immortal, right?
I don't know. The research keeps on going on, and
like look how many people now live way over 100 years, right?
It depends. Actually, quality of life decreased in the United States.
Well, but overall, like if you look at like older times when people are like living 40 years, you know, it's gone up by over 100% on average. So
yeah. So here it says several countries have legalized some form of assisted dying, including the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Belgium, Luxembourg, Canada, Colombia, Switzerland, and some states in the United States.
Really?
Such as Oregon, Washington, Vermont, California, Colorado, Hawaii, New Jersey,
Really?
Maine, and Montana.
Huh.
Yeah, however, specific laws and regulations may between. I have no idea. Damn. Huh.
Wow.
Yeah, no, choose life.
Ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I don't want to bring the. So there is end of life, and there is another thing that I'm really conflicted about. It's a very heavy topic today. What the fuck? I know, I understand that. With abortion. Because some people see it as a choice for women, while some people see it as a death of an infant.
How you see it? Unless you don't want to talk about it.
It's well, we come back to that thing that we say at the beginning. State your opinions.
Yeah. And we don't judge.
I understand bodily autonomy. I also understand that I know that you cannot substitute a career thinking that your life will be much better at the moment if you decide not to have this baby. Because you could have been that baby, but your parents chose to have you. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's this joke about Bill Burr. He says, like, just think about this. He says, like, you're making a cake, right? You make a cake, you prepare everything, you put it in the oven. When it's half cooking, you take the cake, you go across the room, you slam it on the ground. Then your mom comes back and say, what the hell are you doing? That could have been a cake, you know? And he makes the example. And it makes me laugh so much. What a joke.
But this example brings like...
But the thing is, like, somebody cannot begin life at that point.
That's true.
While you...
No, for sure, yeah.
And I don't want to...
It's very tough.
I can say I was raised Catholic and I understand that point of view. But I don't want to put it merely to the religious point and say, hey... You know, I don't want to be blind to the situations. There's a case by case.
There's another side of the road, right?
There is other cases.
Because some people, they cannot afford.
But I would not condone it for selfish reasons.
Yeah.
You know, and I also know that most of the time abortion happens because women are pressured. They are unprepared.
Yeah.
There's no...
Maybe the financial situation.
Financial aspect. There's no help from society, you know, to...
Plus, if you decide to have a kid, you dedicate your life, actually, right? Like to raise.
Yeah.
There's...
There's other things, like if you have a kid, it's done. Your life is over. No, you can do whatever the fuck you want, anyways.
I mean,
you can build a career and have a child. It's.
I mean, I know so many people. They have plenty kids, and they even travel all over the world with them.
Yeah.
No matter how old they are.
And then the other thing is, like, some people prioritize in their life. They say, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Until my 30s, but you have had so many partners. I'm talking about women in general, because there is a timing about when they can be productive and become pregnant.
For sure.
There is a range, you know. We talk about 18 to 30, 34, 35. That's the limit.
Yeah, I mean,
there is cases where
40s,
you can have more 40s, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But generally, that's the span. While for men, there is not the same case. And I'm not saying that men should go and have fun and run through as many women as they can. No. I believe there has to be a certain modicum of dignity and respect for yourself and for other people. To have fun responsibly. I don't believe that. We talked about this so many times. If you find a partner and she's had 100 partners, how well would you take it?
It's your choice, and everybody.
It's your choice. And then the other thing is, like, most people prioritize career, fun over building a family.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can become too late.
Yeah, they might. Yeah.
Because when you're young, you're beautiful and you're more desirable. Yeah. While when you're late, some people...
This might be the price you have to pay.
Yes. Some people are still incredibly beautiful and desirable in their later years. You know, there's Many of these cases.
But your body might not be.
But your body might not be
Yeah.
ready to give life to.
Yeah.
So my thing was the dichotomy between assisted dying and abortion. There is these two ends today that can afflict society in a different way.
Yeah.
And as we have found out, different countries in the world have very low birth rates.
Like South Korea now.
South Korea, holy smokes!
They pay people like right now to like have baby.
To have baby. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Lots of money. Because
Yeah,
they've really like...
I was watching a video, like somebody was making a video of these on the streets in Korea.
Mhm.
And there's all these beautiful women walking around.
Yeah.
And he said, like, can you believe this is the place that has the lowest
Yeah.
birth rate
so
on
what's
Earth?
the reason? Because I didn't get that deep.
I don't know why. We expressed it once. One of the first videos we made. One of the first...
The solo?
No. We tackled this already. Yeah. Let's see why South Korea has low fertility rate.
Oh, by the way, the new video is up. Just
Which one?
the story of an extreme coach return just went out.
Yours?
Yeah.
Oh, you had? Oh, you recorded something?
Oh, I sent you. And you give me the title.
Oh, yeah, it was a long time ago.
No,
Okay.
a week ago.
A week ago. Yeah, I forgot that it would come out today. So South Korea has the lowest fertility rate in the world at 0.72. That's below replacement,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Which is expected to drop to 0.65 by 2025. Some factors that may contribute to South Korea's low fertility rate include high costs of housing, education, and starting a family can be a factor. Job stability. The worsening conditions of job stability and wages for young people may prevent them from being able to afford a family. Work culture. The work culture in South Korea can make it difficult to have children. For example, companies like Samsung have been pushing longer work hours and shorter days of rest, which can make it difficult for both adults to have children. Gender tensions. Increasing gender tensions can be another reason for South Korea low fertility rate. Can be though, but we don't know for sure. Education costs. The expenses of raising a child in a hyper-competitive academic culture can be an obstacle for young Koreans.
So there is many...
Pregnancy and jobs, losing a job, workplace norms. Workplace norms can be inhospitable to family life. That's freaking crazy.
There's many things
Wow.
that add to that. Wow.
Yeah, then the society, the state, the government is to come up. I don't want to say government control is never good, but you need to incentivize. This is either you allow more immigrants to come in. That's a way you can increase your population.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And have more babies, or change the rules for companies and the work-life balance.
But that might be rough
This
in
looks
those countries.
same thing as in Japan, by the way. There's men in their 30s that never had sex before. Like never, ever.
Especially that the Japanese population is very shy.
Well,
closed.
Japan has the strictest immigration laws in the world. They're very traditionalist, you know.
Oh yeah, but not even that. Population, at all, people, their cultural behaviors. There's nothing wrong about it. They're just
polite.
different. They're polite.
The streets are clean.
There's no crime.
Everything is very low crime. Yeah.
Very low crime. So it's they're not that extroverted and open to other people.
Honor, respect. It's all
So it's
things that.
You never have balance. You never have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do I have here? So we either could go to Minnesota mom accused of having sex with 2 boys, 15,
You choose.
or nearly 200 bodies left to rot as Colorado couple blew funeral service cash on cars, crypto, and court. Haha.
I would say the mom.
The mom? Oh my goodness. Okay.
your call.
So I'm a hockey parent.
Uh-huh.
My son goes to hockey. We have hockey tournaments throughout the year. So far, we just had 2. He's in Pee Wee division.
What is that?
It's like the age.
Oh, okay.
Like there's different ranks. Next
Okay.
year is gonna be bantam.
Oh,
A little
nice.
bit bigger, yeah. And they go to tournaments, so they get hotel rooms. So parents, kids are in these hotel rooms. They should be supervised at all times. However, this was not the case. And this happened here. Minnesota mom accused of having sex with two boys, 15, at hotel after marriage spat.
Wow.
A 38-year-old Minnesota mother of two was arrested after she allegedly had sex with two 15-year-old boys at the same time at a hotel last month. Allison Lee Chardin, 38 of Blaine, was taking a staycation with her family at a hotel in Roseville where a boys hockey team from Colorado was staying for a tournament, according to a criminal complaint. Chardin began talking to the teenagers, who were both members of the team, in a hotel hot tub on the night of January 14th, and told them that she and her husband were having marital problems, according to the Star Tribune. After the boys went back to their rooms, she sent one of them a Snapchat saying that she's just had a fight with her husband and wanted to come to the teen's room. So two things. Why would you go in a hot tub with teenagers, and why would you tell them that you fought with your husband, and why the hell would you have a Snapchat with them? Three things.
Yeah.
So after the boys went back to their rooms, she sent one Snapchat. She fought with her husband, and she wanted to come to the teen's room. In the boys' room, the mother of two asked the boys how old they were and told them they were young enough to be her kids. She started talking about sex and stuff. Oh, that's how it started. Asking them how sexually active they were, and then got into bed with two of the boys. So Chardin then began sexual acts with two of the teens, while a third watched and asked them to perform sexual acts on her.
Wow.
The two boys said they felt pressured, right, and eventually told her she had to leave. She later showed up at one of their hockey games and texted the two boys after they returned home to Colorado,
Oh my
police
God.
said. Chardin was arrested on Thursday and charged with charges of third and fourth degree criminal sexual conduct. The restaurant server admitted to kissing and having sexual contact with the boys. She also confessed that she asked them for a condom, but claimed she wasn't going to go through with it, right, according to the complaint. She's scheduled to appear in court on
Wow.
Monday. Yeah, Monday would have been last week, I think. Whoa.
Crazy.
Okay, reverse the roles. Men to 15-year-old girls. What would happen? What would happen?
I don't know.
They would take that man, beat the shit out of him, and throw him in fucking prison for forever. No parole. No fourth or fifth degree, first degree, whatever. It would be a sex offender.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure she would have to register as a sex offender at this point.
Oh yeah.
And go,
I'm sure.
oh my God, that's
The-
terrible.
For the rest of her life.
Yeah, oh jeez.
But she decided to do it, so she was.
That's so stupid. If you got issues with your husband, go talk to him. Instead of, she probably wanted to get it's really immature though.
I don't know.
It's not, what the hell?
There is no.
38.
There is no reasonable. No, there is no reason to do that.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, there's
Like 15.
just find a partner your age, or at least
I mean-
somebody in, Oh, that's ridiculous.
Okay, now, as a guy who grew up in the 90s, late 80s, I have to tell you that I had a crush on one or two teachers that I went to school, in elementary school. It's like,
But it doesn't mean that they.
when you're a teenager, it's like your hormones go crazy. And
But the question is if they had crush on you.
oh, no.
Nah.
What the hell, dude? It's like...
No, that's why I'm saying, like, how does she? It's.
No, my thing is that there will be... Yes, it's still a crime, but it's seen different in society, Like, you know what I'm saying?
But still, if somebody is like under this age of either 18 or 21, like, it's a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
It's called pedophilia.
It's a crime. Yes,
It's called pedophilia.
we cannot normalize that as much as they're really trying. They trying to. So when you want to make something more acceptable, you change its name and you make the name look a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So they call it like sexually attracted minor or something to describe a pedophile. You know?
No, it's...
And they change the name. You know, you're a freaking pedophile because with the entire movement of woke ideology, I believe there is some people that find an opportunity to make into reality their perverted ideology about kids.
Yeah.
And I cannot condone any of that. Leave kids alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see many teachers, they go into the classrooms and they say, I'm a binary, non-binary, I am this, I am that. And they discuss those things with the kids. No. You keep your politics, you keep your identity. I don't give a shit about it. You just teach reading, science, math, physical education, nothing of that. No flags in the class. I just want to see the American flag in class. That's it. There's none of that thing should have place in the classrooms. This is not acceptable.
Not at all.
There's too many of those things going on, and I really don't. So yeah, change the name. You could call it like mutilation, or you can call it gender affirming care. You see how you can switch the language?
They're trying to be smooth.
Like, it's incredible how you change the language. Somehow, you just slipping that thing in, you know, just pass it in, nice and sweet, nobody's noticing, make it nicer, you know, it's like...
Ridiculous.
And so people will not notice and make it more acceptable, you know, and then... just like let it pass through.
That's crazy.
That's a slippery slope. That's when one thing you push one thing by 1 millimeter so nobody notices, and then what you do, you push some more, and then you push some
always
more,
and
then
more.
you push some more, and then a year later you went on 3, 4, 5 meters and you say, what the hell is going on here? What happened?
Yeah, that's true.
But
they should punish this very...
Yeah. So
very
sexually
seriously.
attracted minor. No, dude. Yes, that is...
No matter if it's woman or
that
man.
is pedophilia. And to
this
me, like having these books where they clearly show sexual acts and put them in the libraries or let them pass for kids as sexual education. No, kids don't need to know these things. I'm not a bigot. I just have common sense. I have 2 kids, and I would not like my kids to be exposed to that kind of material because I'm not a pervert, and I don't want anybody getting close to my kids and talk to them about sex. I'm the parent. I will.
Okay.
You know?
Makes sense.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure.
And then there was this teacher that said like, parents should not have a saying to what we teach the kids. I have a master's degree in education. I know better. No, you know nothing. You know nothing, because the fact that you're here spewing around that you have an education and you're the expert in this case. You think you can be better than a parent at teaching a kid? You just have the kids for 8 hours a day. You should just teach them.
You didn't raise them.
Yeah, you didn't raise them. You didn't see coming into this world. You have no idea. So it's not your job. Your job is only to provide them an education.
That's true.
You know, but it's like this, the way she said it, like, I have a master's degree in education. I know better. Parents don't know better. I went to school for it. No, parents will always have a priority because it's their choice to send their kids to school, and you're a public servant.
Yeah.
You're paid by the state to
That is
do
true.
that job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you should just learn basics and leave it up to parents, right?
By the way, let's change topic because I'm getting inflammatory here. So, Zielinski to Inter?
Yeah, I sent
Is it done?
Fabrizio Romano says here we go.
Is it done?
So he passed the medical test.
Oh, he already. Wow.
Yes, and apparently, in the few days he will sign the contract, long-term contract, and
So
join the
Zielinski-
club in July.
Oh, in July.
July.
Oh, so Zielinski.
So he's back in the team.
Zielinski from Napoli is passing on soccer club from Serie A
Yeah,
to Inter Milan.
the leader of the tab at the moment.
Yeah, Juventus lost 1-0
Yeah.
against Udinese. What the hell?
And then Internazionale.
Inter won
It's number one.
1-0. And I don't know if they're 6 points ahead now.
It's 53 versus 59.
49?
No, 53 versus 59. So I think so. Let me double check.
Yeah, they're ahead.
Like 6 points, I think.
That's crazy.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't...
No, it's a very good midfield.
Juventus was first for
Sorry,
some
it's
time.
actually 60 versus 53, so 7 points.
7 points.
Plus Inter has 1 game ahead, so they might be 10 points if they win. It's 23 games only, and Juventus has 24.
Oh, so Inter has 1 game less?
1 game less.
Ooh.
So there might be...
Yeah, they might be winning. And Milan is catching up to Juventus,
Yes.
right? Because they're 49.
Plus Milan has 11 more goals scored. Juventus didn't score much, and they didn't
No.
lose many goals too.
They just lost 3 matches now so far.
Yeah, but they score like all the other teams in the top. They
So-
score more.
Do you want to hear the news? Like, is that Mbappe will leave PSG for free almost? They're not gonna. So they're not gonna sell him.
I'm over like this thing with Mbappe. 'Cause
He should have left already.
Every day it's like a different team. Every day he goes to Real Madrid, then he changed his mind to stay. Then Wednesday he goes anywhere. Thursday he stays. Friday he goes to Real Madrid again.
Yeah,
it's like it's until
They have to draft his contract and make all the. I mean, the salary is gonna be crazy. I think. How old is he?
I think
Is he
23.
23
I
years
don't.
old.
Let me check.
Oh man. And then I was hearing that Rafael Leao from Milan,
25.
25.
Still,
young. Oh, man.
still.
How old is Haaland?
Haaland is 23, I think.
Wow.
23. He's July 21st, 2000.
Wow, very young. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And so
Then
much.
this guy from Barcelona we talk about on the right wing, what's his name?
Araujo? No.
No. Let me check.
Yeah, so many pieces are going to move, and it'll be interesting to see him go to. Well, if Mbappe goes to
Yamal. He scored 2 goals in last game versus Granada. Yamal, he's 16.
16 years old, oh,
His value is already $63 million.
they found a new Messi there.
16, born in 2007. Can you imagine? Can you even imagine that? Because he's.
What nationality?
I
Is he a wing? What is he?
think he's like Arabia somewhere. Let me see.
Wow,
He Spanish.
from Spain.
Well, but he. Wait, let me read his. So, born in Barcelona, Catalonia, to a Moroccan father
Mm-hmm.
and an Equatorial Guinean Fang mother. So, Africa,
Yeah,
Morocco.
but he's a Spain nationality.
Yes. So, as I was reading, he started with this team, Barcelona, like the youth Barcelona in 2013. So, he was 6-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And he spent there 10 years. And then, after this, he got already 25 games in the main team, Barcelona. Isn't it crazy? It's a
Wow.
new Messi, probably, if he keeps going. 16, the guy is 16, that just... And he's already almost 180 meters. 1.8 meters.
It's like 5'11" now.
Yeah. Already being 16. So he keeps growing for next few years.
Oh, look at this kid. He's a little bit out of shape, but he has a pretty good shot. I'm looking on X. There's this kid that he's like
How old is he?
visibly overweight.
Yeah. Oh,
But
wow.
he has a shot that is incredible.
yeah.
Wow.
But he's not gonna be professional, I guess.
Well, if he loses the weight,
Oh.
but look at
Depending
that.
how old is he?
Boom. Wow.
Depending how old is he? Do you have any information?
No. Let me see if there's anything in the comments. They call him.
What did they say?
So somebody wrote in the comments, Roberto Calories, Kilogram Barpe, Kevin the Brownie. Come on, that's really bad. That's funny to read,
not nice.
but he's overweight. He's overweight, It's like...
That's his
it's-
choice too, right? I don't know.
Well, that's true. When you're young, I
Whatever.
mean, he's going to lose. I mean,
Yeah.
he could not run, though, let me tell you.
No, not
Like, he's at least 300 pounds, I would say, on the video here.
there will
And
be no speed.
Yeah,
at
he
all.
cannot move or run. He'll get out of
He
shape.
might be a good goalkeeper.
Or somebody said Kilo Mbappe or heavy Kane.
Wow, that's ridiculous. There was this goalkeeper. He played in I don't know where he played, but he always was wearing like the long pants on the Euro and World Cup.
Yeah.
Which nationality do you remember that? That was the guy. He was older too, and he was always wearing like sweatpants, like the long ones.
Was he Brazilian? I don't
No.
remember.
No,
I don't
'cause
remember.
he was like also out of shape and old. But
Hey, but if so next year, yeah, soccer is gonna change a lot. Football,
the blue card.
yeah. If they use this blue card, that's
Oh
gonna be-
yeah, Hungary.
it's gonna change the dynamics about the game in a crazy way. So explain what is the blue card. So far we have a yellow card that is if you commit one infraction on the field by knocking somebody down or doing a dangerous tackle. It depends to a certain degree. Or if you engage in unethical behavior on the field, you get a first yellow card. If you get a second yellow card, you can get automatically a red card, and the referee can kick you off the field, and your team will play in 10 players. Now, if you commit an extremely act of defiance on the field, disrespectful, or you hurt another player or tackle that is deemed dangerous, the referee can give you directly a red card and kick you off the field. But now they want to introduce this blue card.
Yeah.
There is... What is the blue card?
It's 10 minutes of you go kind of like in hockey.
10 minutes
10
automatically?
minutes that they say.
In hockey, it depends on the...
It's 2 minutes anyway.
No, it depends on the degree of the infraction that you commit.
I never seen different one than 2 minutes penalty.
2 minutes?
I've always seen 2 minutes penalty.
But you say is it automatically 10 minutes?
I guess this
Oh.
is the Gabor Kirali from Hungary.
Yeah. Was he a good goalkeeper?
Well, he was playing until he was 42. Now he's
Oh.
47, and he's like very bulky.
Big? Yeah.
And he always wear all those long pants, no matter what game.
Yeah, well, nice. I mean, like old style.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
it's interesting.
So the blue card is going to take a player off the field for 10 minutes.
And they're already saying, if Real Madrid will be losing, so then the referee will take two players off.
What are the conditions for getting the blue card?
I don't know if they know. Like, it's very subjective,
Really?
I mean, like, there's no, come on.
Blue cards trials.
It's
So wait,
subjective anyway.
Blue cards trial in soccer reportedly delayed.
Yeah.
Here's what to know about the 10-minute sin bins. So the International Football Association Board, which signs off soccer's rulebook, has postponed the decision to introduce blue cards to present a sin bin offense. And then the IFAB would make the announcement on Friday, but the backlash to the plan apparently led the board to push the decision. Reportedly, FIFA wishes to clarify the reported so-called blue card at elite levels of football are incorrect and premature. Any such trials, if implemented, should be limited to testing in a responsible manner at lower levels. a position that FIFA intends to reiterate with this agenda item. And then the blue card will be the first new card for referees to issue since 1970, when both the yellow card and red card were introduced. Blue was picked over orange to ensure the card looks distinct from yellow and red, according to the report.
But still, this is going to be very
So they approved
subjective.
it last November, which would allow referees to penalize players by sitting out a match for 10 minutes for offenses that feel more serious than one that would result in a yellow card, but less severe than one that would...
So you still like it's whatever they decide.
So one that will result between a yellow card and a red card. There's currently no timeline for a trial, but England's FA has volunteered to experiment with rule change for the 2024-2025 FA Cup, a women's FA Cup.
But this is not like the math. This is not like 1 + 1, it's 2. You never know, like... What category will...
So referee,
foul goes
will
under.
issue a blue card to a player for either a cynical foul or dissent.
Well,
So
how
with
about Neymar
he
and-
says with Giorgio Chiellini's foul of Bukayo Saka in Euro 2020 final serving as an example of a punishable offense. In that instance, Chiellini tugged Saka's shirt and brought him to the ground. According to the Telegraph, 2 blue cards and a match would result in a red card for a player. The same would be true if a player picked up 1 yellow card and 1 blue card. Oh, okay. Wow, that is really, really subjective.
Very. People were saying that this will cause even more corruption in soccer than it already is.
Yeah, because it could have
No, like...
It can have a different outcome.
Then it's easier to buy the referee.
it could have a really different result for a match too. I mean, we know that we have maybe the VAR will be more of help because it will help the referee to determine. Unless they have it written down, the rules. If the player does this, and this, it's gonna be blue.
But there's always something new they can do, you know?
Yeah, but they just
They can
wanna,
be very creative with fouls and like cinematic moves.
Well, they also wanted to have 2 half times or prolong the time.
Or like 30-30-30.
Yeah, something like that. Or give more substitutions. They already did that.
They already did.
To 5.
It's changing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Yeah, but it's...
That's their decision, right?
It's their decision indeed. Well, I think we reached... there's a time in the conversation where you reach like a maturation point. Where you say,
it's called deep end.
deep where you say like, hey, I said enough. You know, and I think that this is a pretty good episode. So far,
very good.
episode 26.
Is it?
Yeah.
I lost.
So
my
we're
count.
not counting. And
go watch our solo videos.
watch our solo videos. Go watch the rest of our content. And we're really shooting to go higher. We appreciate the opportunity to have these many subscribers. And we're also on TikTok and
Instagram.
Instagram.
They're down below.
Yeah. Oh, there's
To
down
everything.
below.
X too.
And we're looking to build something on X as well, to post something, some comments and stuff. And we're really aiming high, and we would like to grow. And we can only do that thanks to you and your help.
Correct.
So if you would,
share.
we would appreciate if you could share, comment. Let us know if there's something you like, something we don't. We grow by listening to other people's opinion, because in the end, people have different experiences.
It would be nice, like every viewer would write the comment, and we can comment next time. Like,
we can still do that because
maybe
we're a
one
small
day.
channel. One day we might not be able to do it for everybody, but I really believe that we can have healthy conversations even if we disagree on something. And we can, maybe in the process of learning the other opinion, the other point of view, we may even change our mind.
And we of course respect no matter what is.
So it's we discuss about controversial topics at time, and sometimes when you're like engaged in, when a topic means so much to you, you really engage in this.
Personally.
You speak out of emotion in the moment. You might say something stupid, but then you realize it later. Say, "Oh, I said something stupid." You realize it later, but we gotta be free to speak, and we
apologies in advance.
we cherish the freedom to speak and to
Yeah.
say what we disagree with.
Yeah.
If we shut somebody down in a conversation, we lose the opportunity to hear up the other side. Even if he has something so controversial to say, that we must let them talk.
Yeah.
And always in my heart, I always wish that I have that strength to let that happen. Because when you're so set in your ways that you don't want to acknowledge the other point, that's a big mistake.
For sure.
And I think that if everybody can just sit down and just take the time to listen to the other person, maybe you can really change your mind. Because in the end, we're all people.
Yeah. Be respectful too.
Yeah,
To everybody.
we're all human. We have our egos. We're selfish. Everybody is catering to our own interests. So we need to learn from one another in a way. And unfortunately, I believe that nowadays there is so much division where people have this idea of groups. You know, there's this group against this group, that this group has less, this group has more, this group has privilege, that group has privilege. It's like we live in the world. We're all Americans. We're all citizens of the world.
Yeah.
It may seem like a hippie mentality or something, but we have to start from somewhere if we want to get to a compromise and live peacefully with one another.
Yeah.
You know what I
Agree.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Think
you
that-
just need to find a way to talk, because people don't talk anymore.
Yeah.
You
That's true.
could write an angry message on somebody's comments, and
I never did that.
because you could do that because it's
Ah,
well, you could do that because it's faceless, it's nameless, and your identity is you're anonymous.
yeah. I don't do
And
it anyway.
you're behind the keyboard, maybe
Yeah.
thousands of miles away. So it's easy for you to shit on somebody's content or
That's
blame
true.
them for something. But I'm pretty sure if you be face to face,
Yeah,
it
that's
will
why
be-
you guys be careful what you say, because that might hurt somebody. I'm not saying ourselves.
I don't care.
I don't
I'm
care
not
either.
gonna hurt
But I mean,
anybody.
there are many creators that they take it personal. Like if you look at Bobby,
I was gonna say that.
she was getting so much like.
Well, I'm pretty sure she
negative.
got even more. She just
Yeah,
divorced.
I don't. Yeah, plus her break. I don't think there was like just spring break. You know, I think that. I mean, if you get thousands of like, plus if you get bigger,
It's
Unf-
Bobby Althoff.
Althoff. Unfortunately, when you get bigger, I'm saying unfortunately because it happens to all the creators, people wish you like the worst things to the message. It's not nice. You don't want to get emails like that or something, because even if you know it's not serious or something, that's still like, it's what the fuck somebody would say that. So
Yeah, that
just
is
be
true.
careful, live your life.
Well,
You do
be
if you
careful.
don't agree with somebody, just don't watch it.
Yeah, you have a choice.
Yeah,
you have a
choice to go different direction. Like
Sure.
you're welcome to leave.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah, you don't have to be here and watch
Yeah,
this. Sure,
so-
sure. Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Ladies, gents, thank you for watching, and we'll see you
next
next
time. Thank you.